the pass. He's got speed to the end zone. Touchdown. 45 yards.
And return specialist.
This time he beats the kicker and one more.
DeMornay Pierson-El.
Not only does the sideline have confidence in Pierson-El, but Pierson-El has confidence in Pierson-El.
On 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
All right, welcome back into Tick Weeknights. This is the Punt Hour. We got the host, as always, DeMornay Pierson-El, streaming in. We'll keep it rolling here. Just wrapped up with We Talk Facts. Eric Strickland, Lester Johnson. I've been here since On the Block, but we still got a few more shows to go. Well, let's go ahead and bring him in. DeMornay Pierson-El, how's it going on this windy Thursday night, man?
It's going good. Enjoying the weather. I don't mind the wind.
Yeah, it's not too bad. Shout out to Kevin Meyer, Meyer's Cork and Bottle. Helps out when you get a little bit of Thirsty Thursday, when you can try a few beers during the work hours. Puts everybody in a little better mood. Put a smile on the face. But yeah, it's not too bad. I think we're supposed to get storms later, but as it sits right now, pretty decent weather. But let's go ahead and dive right into it. And again, if you guys want to join in on the show, we got No Royals on the FM airwaves. It's all 93.7 The Ticket, 402-464-5685. Let's just quick go through, as always, the NBA. We're all in the playoffs. And then I want to dive into some college football. But the Dallas Mavericks, they steal game one at home. They beat the Minnesota Timberwolves. Not sure how many people circled that one on their list. You see Kyrie Irving early in the game. He's kind of the guy they are feeding. He takes over the veteran presence. And then in the fourth quarter, it's Luka Doncic's game. 15 of his 33, all in the fourth quarter. Anthony Edwards looked kind of, I don't want to say lethargic, but everybody just looked a little bit off their game. And it really still wasn't that bad. You look at the free throws, that's where they lost the game. The Mavericks, they only missed one free throw from Luka at the very end there. And the Minnesota Timberwolves, they missed about 7, I think maybe even 8 free throws. Well, you make your 8 free throws, you only miss 1. Like the Mavericks, you actually end up pulling that game out. What'd you see game one between those two as the Dallas Mavericks steal the first one on the road?
Dallas, were, I wouldn't say a little bit more hungry. I feel like, they were just a bit more on point. The Wolves just didn't play a complete game. They let that one slip away with some of the runs that happened in there late. I don't know if they were tired. I don't know, if it was just off because, it's a new series or whatever. They get enough sleep. They just weren't hitting on all functions and still almost pulled it off. They're going to probably tighten up and, make things a lot more interesting. I'm not too concerned nor worried about them. You never know what you're getting with the Mavs. They're inconsistent. So, that could have been, their probably best game, probably played, in sync, probably the whole series. Their whole playoff run. So, shout out to them. They were the better team that day. But, I'm not worried too much on that one. You kind of pissed, the Wolves off. So be prepared with how they're going to come and what they want to bring the next go round.
Yeah, that's a scary team to piss off right now.
Mm-hmm.
We saw that when it happened with the Denver Nuggets. You go and get 2 Anthony Edwards, he's going to chirp. But yeah, if you're the Minnesota Timberwolves, you got to figure out a way to unlock Karl Anthony Towns. You got the size advantage. I get it. He's good on the outside perimeter.
I told you.
Get him inside.
It pisses me off.
It's
like, bro, you are not a guard. Like, can you pop out there occasionally and everything like that to mix things up? Like, yes, but, take the ball and attack. Get to the rim. Where's your mid-game, at? Like, I don't think he really has, any mid-game moves or anything like that. And I don't know if he's just not confident with that, if he just feels like he's slower or a lot stiffer and can't turn the corner on most dudes his size or that guard him. They're a little bit more shiftier than him. So I don't know if he's like, getting inside of his head with that or whatnot. But that is one thing that irritates the heck out of me with just watching them play. Is just like, why is he not more of a dominant force inside?
Yeah, well, it's like I was talking about this in the other show. It's like he needs to go back and watch the 2020 NBA Mickey Mouse title and watch what AD did with the Lakers. AD's like, enough of this outside game. He would, every now and then, he'd pop out there and hit it. But for the most part, he put on this new version, even though they had guys like JaVale McGee. I think even Dwight Howard might have been on that roster too, if I remember correctly. That or he was just off it. But he would still go inside, and that's where he did most of his damage. And especially when you would think they'd come from that Denver Nuggets series and realize between Jokic and Aaron Gordon how devastating that high-low game can be, especially when you're clicking on all cylinders, and they just don't ever really use that part of their game. And you got Twin Towers. Yes, they got Gafford and Lively, but I'm not picking those guys to be better than Gobert or Karl-Anthony Towns. You have the offensive advantage inside there, so get a little bit of high-low game going. If you get Karl-Anthony Towns at that high post,
he can take somebody off the dribble. He can pull up. You know what I'm saying? He could spin and everything like that. Like that would be easy. Get those dudes in foul trouble.
Mm-hmm.
You know what you got to do is go one step and go up. They're going to give it to you, or they're going to back off and give you a space. Now you got room to create your mid-range jumper. So I mean, I'm not sure why you're on the 3-point line every time we come down. Like it pisses me off.
Well, especially like when you consider the fact that he is a good shooter. So like get it on the high elbow. If you got Rudy Gobert down there, take the shot if they're not respecting you at all. Otherwise, make one move, start heading downhill. You're a 7-foot giant.
Just throw it up. Just throw it up. He's gonna dunk on him like it.
Exactly.
Like make the game simple. I understand, 3 is better than 2, but at that point in time, I think they were just coming down chucking threes. Everybody was missing it, and before you know it, it was a 2 or 4 point game, and it got up to 9-14 in a blink of an eye. And I'm like, okay, call the timeout, regroup, and y'all start attacking. Like y'all are not playing y'all's game that y'all typically have.
Yeah, and for Karl-Anthony Towns, it's like he just needs to make that next step in terms of understanding the game. That's where his next step is, because he's been this elite shooter for his size, and it's almost like he took a little bit too much pride in that, and he doesn't want to ever get away from that perimeter. But to take that next step is to have that court awareness and be able to understand a way that, man, if me and Gobert, if we can figure out a game where I don't care who's the top of the key, one move, as soon as one of those guys try to step,
what y'all do? Pick it what y'all do is easy.
Yeah, it's right there in front of you. And that's what amazed me with this Denver Nuggets series is like, how did you not learn the script of the easiest lob in the textbook? Something that the Mavericks do very well too. It's like as soon as the guy comes up, lob, Gafford, Lively, whoever's down there. If you want to play this high-low game,
like it's simple and it's almost it's unguardable.
It is.
That's what I mean. Whichever way you pick, you get either Kyrie or Luka a full head of steam to the basket, or an easy pull up, or somebody's getting dunked on.
Mm-hmm. It really is simple basketball. I mean, it seems like, again, this is coaching from way out here in Lincoln, Nebraska. And it wouldn't surprise me that Finch is trying to get that in their ear, but it is up to the players to understand the court awareness, the IQ plays. And again, just take a page out of the last series you played in. Think about how many games you got burned simply by having someone in that short corner just killing you guys on that short baseline over and over and over and over. It's right there in front of you. It's why every team in the NBA loves to get a 7-footer just for those rim runners. That's why guys like Jackson Hayes still have careers, even though their stats would say, no way, you should be out of the league. Athletic, big rim runner. If you can pair that up with the right guy, you got a serious problem. That's what Jokic, Aaron Gordon was. That's what Karl-Anthony Towns, Rudy Gobert can be, especially those guys. You don't even have to be a great passer. They're giants. Just get it up there. That's high enough for the guard not to get it. And that's an easy 2 points right there. Definitely surprising. I do think the Minnesota Timberwolves, they'll lock back in. I think maybe a little bit of fatigue playing in a very intense, given I know both series went pretty much all the way, but again, that Game 7 against Denver Nuggets, Mile High, that's decent travel time going from Denver to Minnesota back and forth. So I think they'll lock back in.
After a while, it weighs on you. They're back. At some point in time, jet lag catches up with you. The altitude catches up with you. So that's what I'm, going to contribute it to. Because late in the game, Ant wasn't even, still, attacking and showing us that side of his game. He was hitting shots outside. And I don't know if he was sore or something happened or whatnot, but it just he just wasn't dialed in that part. But like I said, with them, reassessing and being pissed off and irritated, I think they'll come back. And I think Game 2 is going to be, very exciting.
Yeah, should be a lot of fun. Speaking of game twos, we got another one later today. Let's talk about that series a little bit. Pacers, Celtics. We won't dive a ton into it because I think we kind of covered most of it all. But I believe that one's starting, might have even started already, or it's 7:30 start. But what's the key to the Pacers? If they want to try to figure out a way to lock back in this thing, what do you see for those guys? How are they going to break through this Celtics team when they were that close before? Turnover at the end. If you're Siakam, step to the ball. Do not run forward. You know, it's like he's running a skinny post. Nah, you got to bring that thing out. Come to the ball.
The margin of error is very, very small, as we all have seen in the first game. Pairing that up with a little bit of luck of, maybe the Celtics not having a good shooting night again, or are just are out of it. They need to, I think, push the tempo. And I think they did that a real good job. When the Celtics scored, they got the ball out of bounds and, picked up the pace. The Celtics kind of want to play and dictate their game. They can't allow, the Celtics to dictate what type of game that wants to be played and, the type of speed and everything like that. So make them uncomfortable shots. And I think that they did a good job of that, with just contested shots, running up and down the court, causing, Jaylen Brown to have some bad turnovers. The whole starting five, honestly, to have bad turnovers. Yeah. So I think they're going to continue to have to up that. You just need a little bit more and playing a full, complete game.
Yeah, I'm with you there. I think you just got to continue to try to find ways to piece it together. I mean, you had them right there. The fear is you better keep attacking before they figure out, because I think a lot of the Celtics woes too, and why they quite haven't had that performance where they just put, their foot on a team's neck and just close them out in 4 games, is they are still trying to figure out what that help defense looks like without Porzingis. Because that's obviously a big part of it. And when you losing your tower near the rim, that's a lot of rotations. And you can even see it with Nebraska basketball last year or this season when we went all the way to March Madness, less Texas A&M. The beginning of the year, you're like, man, is this defense on the same page as last year? Not at first, but as the season went on, players got more comfortable with each other, and those rotations were incredibly fast. That's what made Nebraska an elite defensive team. When it comes to the Celtics, I think that's kind of what you're still seeing. I think you're still seeing a team with the Pacers trying to scramble around. How do we stop a guy like Miles Turner, Tyrese Halliburton, Pascal Siakam from constantly cutting inside? Help defense was just a few steps too late. So as they continue to get comfortable with that, I mean, I see a lane for the Pacers, but that game one was so crucial for them to try to pull that thing out. You had them right there. You wasted more energy in an OT game, given Celtics did too, but you're in a tough situation. You needed that one. What's more likely, the Pacers taking down the Celtics or the Mavericks taking down the Timberwolves? I wouldn't have asked this, but the Mavericks are up 1-0.
That's a tough question. I don't like the Celtics, and they've been in this position and have pissed down their leg multiple times, and you can see that coming again. But I think the Pacers are just too young. I don't think they're not a veteran core just yet. They're not experienced in that. So I would say a veteran team taking down Minnesota, it would be more likely, probably.
It's going to be interesting. I think it's more likely for I probably wouldn't pick the Pacers either, but the Pacers do have the championship DNA, at least in Pascal Siakam. They do got a guy, and I think that's a big part of this run, is they do have a guy who's actually been all the way to the finals. And, Kawhi Leonard, yes, he was massive, but that's kind of was Pascal Siakam's coming out party, was on that Toronto Raptors, I think, what was the 2019 run with Kawhi Leonard. Pascal Siakam was electric, and he led that team in multiple big-time situations, and that's what you're seeing here with the Pacers. It looked like it was going to be the Tyrese Halliburton show, and at times it has been, but it's really been Pascal Siakam kind of showing to the world again. Like, I might have fallen off the radar just because I go to all these small market teams, but he's everything there. And as we're talking about it, they're tied up 13-13, first quarter, 7 minutes left to go. But I think it's going to be kind of that Pascal Siakam series because Miles Turner, one of those, I don't want to say underrated defensively, but he's never hovering around the Defense Player of the Year award. But he is very close to being in that contention for everything he's able to do for the Pacers. So I'd still say it's more likely on the other side, but the Pacers, I'm not going to write them off yet. I mean, this is a team that's proven a lot of people wrong over and over and over as the series has continued. They're healthy. The Celtics aren't. Again, with no Porzingis, that is massive.
Yeah, but I mean, even still, they played a terrible game, and you see just with a couple of turnovers, if they can keep it close and they get it into overtime or something like that, like I don't have the confidence in the Pacers to handle, that situation. When if you look at the Celtics, they've been just about in every situation that you could think of over the last couple of years, and these are a lot of the same dudes that have been on the roster for a period of time. So, they're experienced, they're callous, they understand that, the moment's not too big for them and everything like that. So I'm leaning on that more so than an actual threat of, what can, the Pacers bring and do. Because, I mean, as we've seen it, with 45 seconds left in the game, you lose it. On simple basketball, this is not, missed shots. This wasn't, dribbling the ball off your leg. Like, this is literally you didn't come and get the ball or the IQ to, to call the timeout or, talk about things, just kind of like you let the bleeding keep happening. So that's the only thing that makes me nervous with the Pacers. Is just they haven't experienced that and been in these type of moments. And the last 3 years, the Celtics have been in the Eastern Conference Finals and went to Game 7s. So
yeah. I'm with you there. It's really Pascal Siakam kind of carrying the load. At least, shout out TJ McConnell. I mean, that's a veteran for the Pacers as well. Can't forget about him in the mix. But yeah, it just seems like the experience-wise, if you're the Boston Celtics, you got to figure out a way to punch this thing home. Because I think they wouldn't be wrong to hold fast if they find a way to somehow lose this series again. But the pressure is going to be so unnerving. Even if it's the right move to keep everyone steadfast and keep them in Boston, the pressure from the outside media, I'd imagine some of that starts to get into players' heads, whether they want it to or not. They start hearing trade rumors that are getting put out there, teams trying to get feelers, seeing maybe what would it take? Can I get into this locker room and maybe see if I can get some of these players to look elsewhere? Pretty soon you start getting all this criticism and all these ideas, and you just can't ever guarantee that everyone's going to want to stay right there in Boston, even if it is the right move, because we've seen what the trade market looks like in the NBA. It's always insane. But before we go to break, I want to talk about one more thing. This one blows my mind. We got the All-NBA teams came out. There's one guy who was, I think we might have talked about it a little bit yesterday, but we just ran out of time. Let's go through the All-NBA first team, and you just tell me when you see a problem. So the All-NBA first team, you got Giannis Antetokounmpo, Luka Doncic, Shai Gilgeous, Nikola Jokic, Jason Tatum. Any problems with the All-NBA first team?
Giannis.
I'm okay with Giannis, honestly. Based on the candidates there and getting another position in there, Giannis doesn't hurt me that much. You can argue with the injuries, but not that egregious. Can we at least say that, even if you disagree?
Okay.
It gets worse if you think that one's bad. Second team, Jalen Brunson, Anthony Davis, Kevin Durant, Anthony Edwards, Kawhi Leonard. We haven't mentioned a guy yet.
Kawhi.
Third team, Devin Booker, Steph Curry, Tyrese Halliburton, and the name that makes everybody's going to perk up at LeBron James. And then Domantas Sabonis. LeBron James is behind Kawhi Leonard and Kevin Durant, despite averaging more points, rebounds, and assists.
Yeah, that's crazy.
I mean, this is what we talk about with the narratives and how insane they are. But there's no world where LeBron James was a worse player than Kawhi Leonard.
And he played more games, and his number. Like Kawhi played fewer games, and numbers still aren't even hitting like LeBron stuff. Like at what point can you stop the hate and just respect what he has doing and what he is doing?
Well, that's what's frustrating for me is like I'm very open about it. Not the biggest LeBron fan on the basketball court. I'll never say anything about off it because he looks like a great family man. That's great. I will never judge him for being that. But on the court, not the biggest LeBron fan. And that's insane to me to not have LeBron up there. You want to try to argue defense? Kawhi Leonard wasn't even that great defensively this year. He was sneakily having his best season, but we're not going to just put I feel bad for you points because he started getting hurt. Mm-hmm. It's the regular season. A lot of that award is based on attrition and availability. How much can you be out there? How consistent? And again, even when he was fully healthy, having that awesome stretch, LeBron still averaged more points, rebounds, and assists. I'm not a big LeBron fan, but he's second team minimum, at least above Kawhi, at least above Durant. Yeah. So it just kind of blew my mind. It feels like with these awards, they get more and more disrespectful by the year, because it just, years like this really erode my faith in who is the media members, who's the coaches, who's actually coming up with this list, because I know there's whatever you want to call it. There's voting fatigue, but that's not even voting fatigue. That's just straight hate. Like the stats would tell you you're wrong. The tape would tell you you're wrong. The availability would tell you you're wrong. There's not a single category you can pick outside maybe a little bit of defense. But again, Kawhi wasn't healthy. His defense wasn't that great when he was starting to have that knee soreness. So it blows my mind with that voter fatigue. That's probably the worst one I can remember in a long time. You got any all NBA team snubs that really burn you the wrong way? That one to me is horrendous.
Not off the top of my head. I would have to look at some lists and go back, but nothing off the top that screams like, oh yeah, that was wrong.
And that's what I'm saying. I think that's what says a lot about this list. Is there's been times where I've disagreed, but this is to the point where it's like, I don't even know if you're watching NBA this year or who people voting, or if they even bothered to look at the stat sheet. Because yes, LeBron James, he took a decent amount of free throws, but he also finished at the rim with one of the highest efficiencies throughout all the league. So it's not like he was just making all his points off the free throw line. In fact, guys like Luka, Giannis, Joel Embiid, they were doing more of that than he was. So had to bring it up. Not always the biggest LeBron fan, but I'll at least defend him there, because that's outrageous. He should definitely be at least all NBA second team. Anything below that, again, not to say Kawhi Leonard and Kevin Durant had bad seasons, but it wasn't close compared to LeBron's. With that being said, we'll throw it to break here. On the other side, we'll talk some college football. We got Des Moines Pierson-El, the host, as always, streaming in. And then afterwards, we'll have Chance of Burlington. So we still got plenty left here on Ticket Weeknights. Don't go anywhere. We'll talk to you guys in a little bit.
Prashawn Jackson here for Bauer Underground, who has been serving local contractors and utility contractors all across the state since 1997. When you see the black and white trucks, you know the baddest dudes in the business have arrived. Bauer is currently looking for equipment operators, laborers, diesel mechanics, and aerial linemen. Join the brotherhood built on hard work, authentic people, and pedigree of success. Bauer, a family-friendly company who reminds you, go Big Red!
The end of the school year is drawing near, which means graduation parties are coming soon. Are you prepared for that if you're hosting? Fierce Cheese Spread is the dip that brings everyone together to celebrate graduations and to close out a great school year. And it goes well with crackers, meats, soups, and more. How could you throw a party without it? Get to your local grocery store today and load up on Fuhrer's Cheese Spread. No graduation party is complete without it.
Hey, baseball fans, join the Blur Tailgate at Hilton Omaha this June for our 12th annual hospitality event during the College Baseball Championship Series. Book an experience for your clients or employees with an inclusive bar, buffet, TVs, music, and tailgate games. Secure your spot today and let Blur Events take care of all the work so you can enjoy the day. Plus, we're just steps away from Charles Schwab Field. Visit blurevents.com to book your group, buy tickets, or learn about sponsorships. That's blurevents.com, your college baseball and football tailgate destination.
Scissors and Scotch has opened their Lincoln location at 30th and Yankee Hill. Don't settle for an ordinary haircut. Go above and beyond at Scissors and Scotch. Scissors and Scotch provides your classic haircut service with optional membership discounts. From now until June 6th, Scissors and Scotch is offering the Founders Reserve Special for those who want massive savings. Learn more or book your appointment by visiting scissorsscotch.com or check out Scissors and Scotch's brand new location at 30th and Yankee Hill.
93.7 The Ticket, Fox, KFXL weather. Brought to you by Bryant Air Conditioning, Heating, Electrical, and Plumbing.
Your Lincoln forecast for today, we'll see mainly sunny skies. It'll be breezy too, with an afternoon high around 82. Tonight, showers and storms likely, some of which could be severe. See a low around 57. And tomorrow, showers and storms possible in the morning, and mainly sunny and breezy, the high around 72. Meteorologist Kyle collecting for 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
In every office, there's two types of people. There are those who bring in bagels and those who eat the bagels that someone else brought in. Everybody likes the first person. Be that first person. Weekday mornings at 7:30, you have a chance to win a business box of bagels from Bagels & Joe. All you have to do is shut up, Sipple. 2 questions for you, 2 for Sip. Win, and the bagels are yours. Lose, well, you don't want to lose.
You lost Monday, you lost Wednesday, you're a loser.
Shut up, Sipple. Weekday mornings at 7:30, brought to you by Bagels & Joe.
Ready to add a dash of Southern flavor to your week? At Wings and Rings, their brand new Southern fried wings have arrived for a limited time. Indulge in the irresistible goodness of large, traditional bone-in wings coated in a crispy beer batter and fried to perfection. Try them with hot honey or any other sauces. And for those busy summer days coming up, look no further than their Southern Fried Wings Family Bundle. Wings and Rings, 2 Lincoln locations on O Street or Village Lane.
High schoolers, unleash your creativity and learn about potential careers in broadcasting at the Digital Expressions Media Camp. Have fun, make friends, and get hands-on experience with video and radio production June 9th through the 14th at the University of Nebraska at Kearney. Scholarships are available from the Nebraska Broadcasters Association and spots are limited. Learn more at digitalexpressionscamp.com. That's digitalexpressionscamp.com.
Be sure to check out the top-selling Recomp. Recomp helps build lean muscle and strength while decreasing body fat. Recomp is ideal for men and women of all ages trying to look their best. Recomp can only be found in Nutrition Authority. For info, visit mynutritionauthority.com.
NEBCO is hiring CDL drivers for ready-mixed concrete, Husker Concrete, and Beatrice Concrete. NEBCO offers great pay, medical and retirement benefits, paid time off, and they pay for CDL training. Apply today and start your new career with a $2,500 hiring bonus. From NEBCO's beginning in 1908, it's the employees that have formed the company's solid foundation. Start your career today. Visit nebcoinc.com. That's nebcoinc.com.
Hey, Husker Nation, Matt Davison here with 1890. It's an exciting time to be a Husker fan, and to keep that momentum going, we need your help. Nebraska has always been a leader in college athletics, and we're doing the same through name, image, and likeness. NIL is a unique opportunity for every Husker fan to have a direct impact on the success of our programs. Through 1890, 100% of your contribution goes to the student athletes. So go to 1890nebraska.com, choose your sport, become a member, and help the Huskers recruit and retain the best. Go Big Red.
Hi, everyone. Kendall Warnock, A1 Automotive in downtown Lincoln. Spring is here. Summer is fast approaching. With weddings, vacations, and weekend getaways on your mind, do not let car issues prevent you from getting where you need to be. Car problems shouldn't be something that you put up with. Let us get you back on the road in comfort and safety. We diagnose all makes and models from Porsches to Hondas, Toyotas, and Chevrolets. We fix a variety of issues with all of them with our talented techs and our experienced staff. A1 Automotive at 11th and L, downtown Lincoln, always honest answers.
Play ball! Looking for the ultimate change-up from the typical family nights? How about a Grand Slam good time with friends and coworkers? Then unleash the fun at Haymarket Park with an action-packed, thrilling season of Salt Dogs baseball. Choose from 50 home games now through August with daily and weekly specials your whole pack can enjoy, including group discounts. Don't miss out on the magic and the excitement. Strike 3, you're out! Visit saltdogs.com to reserve your tickets today. Unleash the fun.
This is the Don't Punt Hour on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com. Here is your host, Pierson-El.
All right, welcome back in. Ticket Weeknights, the Don't Punt Hour, here with the host as always, Pierson-El. If you guys want to join in, 402-464-5685. Face to the Voice, Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, Twitter, and as always, Allo, Channel 961. Quickly, I want to get some house cleaning. I shouldn't even call it house cleaning. Some congratulations out of the way and some optimism for Nebraska baseball. As their first game, they had to go ahead and play Ohio State. They lost terribly. It was a bad game for Nebraska. They did rest their pitcher, understanding that they already kind of got their NCAA tourney bid. So give or take how you feel about the decision. It wasn't a good game, but they did bounce back because in that next game, as the result of losing, they had to play Purdue. They beat Purdue. And now tomorrow, as a result, they will have to play the winner of Indiana and Ohio State. And again, if they want to win this Big Ten championship, they're going to have to climb this mountain because you lost the first game. So whoever loses between Indiana, Ohio State today, that one actually started at 7 p.m., that's going to play Nebraska. So say it's Ohio State, they're going to have to win, and then they would face Indiana or Ohio State, whoever ends up being, but then they'd have to beat them and then beat them again. So this is kind of the trouble with Nebraska. Quite the mountain to climb, but a good turnaround from Ohio State to beating Purdue. So they got some optimism yet. I wanted to bring that out there for everybody who isn't aware. Nebraska baseball still in it in the Big Ten tournament. They still got a shot. It's a long road ahead. You lost that first game. But again, if they can find a way to do it, it'd be an awesome run to the Big Ten tournament. I mean, you'd be playing hot heading into the NCAA tournament run. You do well on that, you find yourself in the College World Series. Be the first time in a long time for Nebraska baseball. And man, Omaha.
I think that was set the state of Nebraska on fire if that happened.
Yeah, at least Omaha. And then how far the fire spreads from there, it's only a matter of miles, because that is going to be widespread Husker land. It's going to be red in Omaha. And that's just something I've been dying to see. Just see Nebraska baseball in the College World Series, because we really do. Haymarket Park, one of the most awesome baseball venues here in college baseball. Like, Haymarket Park is awesome. And now they got the alcohol sales. Part of those sales, I think almost all of it, it might even be 100% of it, is going to more renovations of Haymarket Park. So they're investing in it. And now it's just wins, baby. You get wins, that place really starts selling. And then the alcohol flows, the wins are up, and everybody smiles. There's a real path here for Nebraska baseball. So I wanted to shout it out because, again, they've had an awesome season. Shout out to Coach Bolt. It's not over yet, but pay attention to the Husker baseball team, because it's been an awesome regular season. And now they're not quite done yet in this Big Ten tournament. And even if they do happen to fall, they still got a good NCAA tourney bid in their back pocket as well. So still plenty left on the table. Well, I want to rewind back to our conversation yesterday. Since this is a shorter segment, we went long on the first one. We got some quotes now, so this will be fun. Big Sky Commissioner, and this is, again, House versus NCAA settlement. The Big Sky Commissioner not keeping his mouth shut. He had some very open things to say. He says, in the upcoming House settlement, why are the A5 Power 5 conferences asking for the non-Power 5 conferences, G5, FCS, AAA, to pay 60% of the damages when 90% of the money will go to Power 5 football and men's basketball players? Asking for a friend. And that is your Big Sky Commissioner. So all of those talks that we're saying, how these guys were under the radar and they didn't know that this was going on, it's starting to peep up, because more and more people are like, hey, this is a serious problem. Why the hell are we paying this? It's going to drown us. How many more people you think are going to step up here? I mean, it seems like we're steamrolling it. I'm glad to see that.
I think more will start to speak up and see. I mean, one domino already fell, so I don't think it's too far behind for people who have the right influence or have the right ears to people and everything like that before they start actually speaking and saying something. So I don't think we're far from it at all, and this thing is just getting started.
It's just crazy to watch. And I want to say even the NCAA tried to move the location and failed on that, because they're trying to figure out, it's like, well, let's get a different kind of court. Maybe it'll help us out. Man, what a bad look. And I'm glad. Shout out to the Big Sky Commissioner. I hope more commissioners, I hope every commissioner in this mid-major conference says something about how BS this is, because it infuriates me a lot. Obviously, I've talked about it 3 days in a row. I'll stop talking about it because you guys have heard it 100 times over. When it comes to the stadium, we kind of talked about Troy Dannon and his quotes. Let's talk about the Friday night games, because that's kind of what's going to fuel some of this NIL stadium renovations. Where do you stand on Friday night football games in college, not high school, college kids playing on Friday nights?
I mean, I don't mind, the Thanksgiving one, but having multiple games on Friday throughout the season, I don't like that. In high school, you want to play on Saturdays. And then, once you play it on Saturdays, you want to get to playing on Sundays. So occasionally, for holidays or, one in there and everything like that, that's fine. I don't mind that. But actively throwing that into the routine of things and whatnot, when you really don't have to, I don't think, that would be a good look at all.
Yeah, I hate it as well. I've always thought Friday nights are for high school, because the high school kids want to wake up and they want to watch college football. And then the college football kids want to wake up and they want to watch NFL football. And again, the people that aren't even playing, I want to watch high school football on Fridays. It's fun. Everybody loves watching their alma mater.
When you think about it, think about the parents that fly in on those weekends on Fridays and everything like that. They're going to have to leave a day, maybe 2 days early. So instead of possibly leaving Friday after work and enjoying your weekend wherever the game is at, away game or home games. They might have to, miss those games during the week. And so you might have people, missing, seeing their family members, sons, kids, or, playing in live and direct because it works with it conflicts with their, work schedule. So I don't see no real benefit, to move it. If it's not broke, don't fix it. We're not adding more games to college football. So why move it up necessarily if it benefits really not? If it really it doesn't benefit anybody.
Well, I can tell you what the obvious answer is, and as always, money. So it comes down as a domino effect. The NFL started. I mean, the NFL was Sundays and it was sacred. You had Monday Night Football, Sunday Night Football. Then they start bringing in Thursdays, and then every now and then, the only day they won't play is Wednesday. But the NFL's showing it's like, we'll take a Monday, we'll take a Tuesday, we'll take a Thursday, Friday. Why not? If it's money's in there, we'll take it. And then you start seeing NFL get these massive contract deals for having games on off days. Then you see college football. It's like, I wonder how many viewers we can get on a Friday night. If we're not a Alabama versus Georgia, but we're the only Friday night college football game along with a few other small ones, we can get a lot of money in our pocket. And that's kind of where
also you gotta look at kids' safety. They're not used to having those short weeks and playing, 2 games kind of back to back and everything like that. So I don't think they'll be able to get past the safety stuff that you also have to, account for it and people will step up and actually say, no, we're not doing that. You have universities that'll be like, no, we're not partaking in that. We're not doing that and everything like that. So I don't think it'll get far.
Well, let's hear the quote from the athletic director, Troy Dannon of Nebraska, on Friday night games. And this was following kind of the renovations of the stadium, blah, blah, blah. What's the plan for the money? What are we all trying to build here? He's quoted, the other thing is we can be upset about it all we want, but we're cashing a pretty large check from our television contract every year. This is the price of that check. In order to fund what we want to do, you end up with a Friday night game here and there. Does that change your opinion at all?
No, not at all. I mean, the first game of the year might be on a Friday or within the first 2 or whatever. But because I believe we played a early Friday night game a couple years ago, if I'm not mistaken.
It was Illinois. We had a Friday Illinois game,
yeah,
and then
so
Iowa, as always.
It was a little weird and everything like that. But I mean, that doesn't mean that it's going to be us every time. So I mean, he's stating the obvious. So I mean, clearly, it's a flip of a coin of teams around the Big Ten or something like that that might have an additional Friday night game or something like that. But I mean, it is. They're gonna say things and they're gonna try and move stuff and whatnot. But I don't think that's gonna be a permanent change of, this is the new normal.
Yeah, and this is where I
think college football opens up on a Friday night. I think week 0 is typically like Friday night games, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, so, you're right. That's how we played Illinois on that Friday.
Yeah, so I mean that's kind of the normal type thing. Other than like I said, we play Iowa that Friday instead of Saturday or whatnot. So I mean, it's like I said, that to not be the normal. Like, no, I don't think that will fly, because I mean, you had maybe 2 or 3 primetime games or Power 5, teams playing in that open slot. It wasn't typically, really huge Power 5 universities playing in those spots anyway.
Yeah, very rarely, like you said, it's a week 0 type of situation. If you get a Power 5 Nebraska or somebody or a major, and this is where, when it comes to the athletic director Troy Dannon, I got no problems with what he's saying. I think that's just the state of where we are now. And whether you like it or hate it, he's just playing by the board. I mean, that's the chessboard he's been given, and he's playing the moves that are available to him. We can push back all we want, but it's so much about money now, and I would love for it to change. But again, you want to fund the new stadium. You want to be the best of the programs to flash the facilities. Okay, well, TV contract money. You want to have more NIL scholarship deals you can hand out to get high-level recruits. TV contract.
I mean, that's fine and dandy. You can have all the things you want to, but if you're not winning, kids are going to be leaving anyway. So if you're not winning, what does it matter?
Well, I mean, I would say we've seen some players end up in spots that are very surprising simply for the paycheck. So sometimes even when you're not winning, now winning's always going to help you out way more than anything else. That's how you get guys to go to Georgia despite not making a ton of money. Some players are going to choose, I want to go to the place that's best for me, not just follow the paper check, especially when now it's like, man, you still get 50K, 60K. Sorry, it's not a mill, but you're doing better than just about everybody else before you. I hate it, but that's just kind of where we are. So I don't blame Troy Dannon at all. I think his comments make sense. I respect him for at least saying, this is what it is. He didn't try to walk around it. He's like, it's about the money. That's why we do it. It's about the money. And it's like, I can at least respect that. That's something I always wish LeBron James would say. It's about the money. Again, had to bring that up. I still think he should be on all NBA second team despite that comment, but we'll throw it to break here. Dump Punt Hour with the morning Pierson-El. The host, as always, Harrison Arns on the ones and twos. One more segment. We'll talk to you in a little bit.
Several irrigation contractors in Lincoln go out of business every year, leaving sprinkler system orphans begging for service. The folks at Judson Irrigation shed a tear for these little fellas. They've been coddling these orphans for more than 40 years. From redesign, repairing, replacing, and restoring, remember the Judson Irrigation Orphanage.
Call the Judson Irrigation Orphanage 402-420-6277 or judsonirrigation.com.
Ready to add a dash of Southern flavor to your week? At Wings and Rings, their brand new Southern fried wings have arrived for a limited time. Indulge in the irresistible goodness of large, traditional bone-in wings coated in a crispy beer batter and fried to perfection. Try them with hot honey or any other sauces. And for those busy summer days coming up, look no further than their Southern Fried Wings Family Bundle. Wings and Rings, 2 Lincoln locations on O Street or Village Lane. For over 15 years, Integrated Life Choices has empowered individuals with disabilities in Lincoln and throughout Nebraska. They provide comprehensive services from group homes and independent living services to job training, ensuring fulfilling lives for those that they serve. Now, they're inviting you to join their mission. If you're passionate about making a difference in the lives of people with developmental disabilities, explore rewarding career opportunities with them. Learn more about their services and apply today at www.ilc.net. Be a part of Integrated Life Choices, where your work truly changes lives.
Hey, baseball fans, join the Blur Tailgate at Hilton Omaha this June for our 12th annual hospitality event during the College Baseball Championship Series. Book an experience for your clients or employees with an inclusive bar, buffet, TVs, music, and tailgate games. Secure your spot today and let Blur Events take care of all the work so you can enjoy the day. Plus, we're just steps away from Charles Schwab Field. Visit blurevents.com to book your group, buy tickets, or learn about sponsorships. That's blurevents.com, your college baseball and football tailgate destination.
Hi everyone, Kendall Warnock, A1 Automotive in downtown Lincoln. Spring is here. Summer is fast approaching. With weddings, vacations, and weekend getaways on your mind, do not let car issues prevent you from getting where you need to be. Car problems shouldn't be something that you put up with. Let us get you back on the road in comfort and safety. We diagnose all makes and models from Porsches to Hondas, Toyotas, and Chevrolets. We fix a variety of issues with all of them with our talented techs and our experienced staff. A1 Automotive at 11th and L, downtown Lincoln, always honest answers.
Spring sports are here and it's time to upgrade your equipment. But don't go rushing to your big box store. Play It Again Sports is your place to go for all spring sports equipment for baseball, softball, golf, and disc golf. Play It Again Sports has quality, slightly to gently used equipment, and 50% of their inventory is actually new equipment. And don't forget, buying from them is a great way to get new products with great discounts by also bringing in your used items for store credit or cash on the spot. Play It Again Sports at 48th and Vine.
Hi, it's Sean Callahan here for Koppel Chevrolet GMC, and it's truck month at Koppel, and we want to sell them all. Choose between 0.9% APR or as much as $8,000 off list price. Yes, you heard right. That's 0.9% APR or as much as $8,000 off list on select new GMC and Chevrolet inventory. So please make that money-saving drive to Koppel in Louisville or check us out online at koppelcars.com. You'll be glad you did. All deals with approved credit, must trade and finance.
Ready to upgrade your combine in 2024? The team at Landmark Implement is here to help you find the right combine to fit your operations needs. Choose from 4.75% for up to 60 months or a 12-month interest waiver, followed by John Deere financial rates with approved credit through the end of May. When you purchase a pre-owned S or X Series combine from Landmark, Know you are backed by Landmark's extensive parts and service network with mobile techs and parts drop-off points to keep you up and running. View our current inventory online at landmarkimp.com or stop by your local Landmark to experience the Landmark difference.
In every office, there's two types of people. There are those who bring in bagels and those who eat the bagels that someone else brought in. Everybody likes the first person. Be that first person. Weekday mornings at 7:30, you have a chance to win a business box of bagels from Bagels and Joe. All you have to do is shut up Sipple. 2 questions for you, 2 for Sip. Win and the bagels are yours. Lose, well, you don't want to lose.
You lost Monday. You lost Wednesday. You're a loser.
Shut up Sipple. Weekday mornings at 7:30, brought to you by Bagels and Joe.
Looking for a job that feels like family? Join Lincoln Industries, where tradition meets innovation. They're a family-owned, privately held manufacturing company with a passion for excellence and a commitment to their community. They have openings on all shifts at both the main plant and air park facilities, offering flexibility to fit your schedule. Whether you're a seasoned professional or just starting out, there's a place for you there. At Lincoln Industries, they invest in their people's success, providing opportunities for growth and advancement. Apply now and become a part of something special at Lincoln Industries. The end of the school year is drawing near, which means graduation parties are coming soon. Are you prepared for that if you're hosting? Fierce Cheese Spread is the dip that brings everyone together to celebrate graduations and to close out a great school year. And it goes well with crackers, meats, soups, and more. How could you throw a party without it? Get to your local grocery store today and load up on Fierce Cheese Spread. No graduation party is complete without it.
Highball Bar in downtown Lincoln is open and located just north of 11th and O Street. Highball Bar offers a vibe and atmosphere like no other, making it the perfect place to grab a drink or beverage. Highball Bar features great events such as Karaoke Sunday, $4 Tito's on Mondays, Jack Daniel's specials on Wednesdays, and much more. Make Highball Bar your go-to spot after a hard day at work or on the weekend. Highball Bar, located at 122 North 11th Street in downtown Lincoln.
Early break with Sip and Jake.
Harvey Perlman was there.
Yeah, Harvey's there.
Harvey sidled up to me and said, Sipple, a little out of context. So I was driving back. I called Pelini and I told him what Harvey said. He goes, Sipple, you should have told him anytime he's not near a sewer, he's out of context.
Whoa! Early break with Sip and Jake from 6 to 8 every weekday morning on 93.7 The Ticket. This is the Don't Punt Hour on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com. Here is your host, DeMornay Pierson-El.
All right, wrapping things up here on the Don't Punt Hour here with the host, as always, DeMornay Pierson-El. If you guys want to join in, last second comments, 402-464-5685. We got a little bit of time here, so let's just keep it short and sweet. Caitlin Clark, Charles Barkley spoke up for her in a very strong way. Paraphrasing here, Charles Barkley calls WNBA players petty for the treatment of Caitlin Clark. She got y'all, I'll subtract the word, charters. How do you feel about the Charles Barkley comments about the way, and for the charters, she's talking about now they get to fly in private jets.
Yeah.
I would also argue, though, I do wonder, with how much money that gets spent on private jets, they also could have doubled the WNBA players' salaries for all the private jet flights. I wonder how they'd feel about that if that was an option. Like, you guys could also get paid double, or, maybe private jets is what they wanted. I don't know. I thought interesting to bring up. But
baby steps, small victories. He being honest. He getting a lot of hate right now. Hate, envy, jealousy. He just being real. So it starts with somebody. Somebody got to speak up and step up and say something. A lot of people, not really, saying too much or being politically correct with it and everything. Charles gonna say it. He don't care.
Track record of.
So shout out to him for at least having female athletes back and everything like that with that situation. But I kind of feel like a lot of people in the WA just kind of they're giving her a side eye. They're not really messing with her. But it's nothing that it's nothing that's like it's her fault. Like she did what she did and she earned that and she's spreading her wealth. So it's like, why y'all mad and upset?
Yeah, it's like The best way to compare this is when LeBron James got drafted to the Cavaliers. Now, I'm not saying she's going to be the LeBron James, but you remember those Cavs players on that team talking mad smack. Like, this guy coming in here, he's in for basically a lesson. Flash forward, they were in for a lesson pretty quick. So like, okay, LeBron James is better than everybody here. And clearly the franchise, he's the corner piece. We're all expendable. With Caitlin Clark, this deal I probably don't get. She's playing pretty well. Turnovers, not great. But points-wise, probably better than you would anticipate, or at least right around there. Shooting numbers, they're up and down, but she's getting used to it. And we said it the other day, you get drafted on the 15th and you're playing basketball a month later on the 14th. So not even a full month. Like, it is right there to it. And she's also on the worst team. She started the schedule also worked out in a way where this would be like if this year's Detroit Pistons, one of the worst teams in sports history, and that's not exaggerating. I mean, they were that close to being one of the worst teams in sports history. That'd be like them starting out the NBA regular season, playing the Denver Nuggets, then going to play the Boston Celtics, then going to play the Minnesota Timberwolves, then going back to play the Nuggets. I mean, that's how brutal this beginning stretch was. So let's not panic and freak out. And they almost got a couple. And Caitlin Clark's numbers aren't bad. So
she's the offense. Like everything starts and stops with her. Period. So I mean, let her, let her get it. Let them understand and figure some things out, and switch some things up. But right now, like, she's gonna be fine. Like I said, now, will they make the playoffs? And will she be, an MVP of the whole league and everything like that? I don't know yet. I wouldn't say that as of right now, but. She's going to be a contributor. She's going to get hers. She's going to, make the girls around here, better, and they're going to get open shots and whatnot. But, they have to do their part too. She can't do everything.
Yeah. And that's kind of hence first round pick to the Indiana Fever, because she's going to kind of have to do everything if they want a shot to try to go ahead and win everything or get an MVP. Good chance for Rookie of the Year. But, yeah, for anybody out there that's Caitlin Clark fans, that's part of what Charles Barkley's saying is true. You're going to have a target on your back. But you're also nowhere near the panic button. Like, her numbers aren't bad. That's the part of this whole thing I don't get. Her numbers are fine. Like, outside turnovers, they're fine. They're just losing because the team's not that good. But we're going to wrap it up here. Shout out to Morning Pierson-El. We'll talk to him again next week. Joining me on time, as always, for the Dumb Punt Hour, Harrison Arns on the ones and twos. We'll talk to you again soon.